How's everyone doing? Today I have an awesome Arrow video update, and if you've seen any of these movies, definitely let me know what you think of them. There's 14 titles right here, all Arrow video Blu-rays, and I have seen a couple of them, and I've actually already shown all of these as well in previous updates, but there are recent updates. These are all the Arrow video titles I've gotten in the past 2 weeks, so I figured I'd go ahead and do like a combined Arrow video update video, and let me know which one of these titles is your favorite, and let me know which one of these that I haven't seen or rewatched yet that I should watch first. The only ones I've seen so far out of these lots are the first two. I mean, I've seen one of the other ones in here before, but it's been a long time. I haven't actually, I've seen two of the other ones on here, but a long time ago. I want to revisit them on Arrow Video. But the two that I actually saw recently, first up is Tiki, the Immortal monster. This is very reminiscent of the Blob and Quatermass experiments, where they have they go to this like ancient Mayan ruins, and this is actually an Italian film and shot in like Mexico. Well, it's set in Mexico rather, shot in Italy, but and they go to this ancient Mayan ruins and they uncover this creature, Tiki, and they bring up. Well, it attacks one of the people and like destroys his arm, so they get back and they take the sample off of his arm, and that guy's horribly disfigured. And that villainous character was probably the best performance of the movie. He was awesome. So they take that back and they kind of experiment on it, and they find out that the Mayans left all these years ago because of this prophecy of the comet, and now that comet is coming back again. It has something to do with radiation in the atmosphere, increasing it, and it's gonna give Tiki the power to grow and take over the world essentially, and they have to stop it before that happens. And I thought this was actually really decent, but it had its faults. It's a movie that's basically the sum is not quite as good as its parts. Like, there's some really awesome aspects to this film, but overall, as a whole, it just wasn't great. There's a lot of elements that worked, and then just some of the pacing issues. Some of the actors weren't, great. They could have done more with the monster, especially at the end. Again, the little things here and there that could have really elevated this to make it a classic. But some phenomenal special features on here. I really like seeing the one historian talk on here. I believe he's trying to find his name on here. I believe he's from the UK, but he's basically talking about like sci-fi horror movies from like the 50s and stuff like that. I thought that was a really good special feature. Tons of good special features on this release, so if you are a fan, definitely worth checking out. And this was co-directed by Mario Bava. It was Ricardo Freda and then Mario Bava. Initially, Mario Bava was left off, and he didn't work with any of the actors when he directed. He did just like the creature segments and the effects like that. So yeah, now that he's on there, it gets kind of more notoriety because of that name, I think. But again, beautiful releases for Arrow Video. I've already shown all the reversible artwork, the special features, talked about the transfers, what they do with that, the booklet, again, disc artwork. So yeah, I've already talked about that in depth with the other releases, so I'm not going to go through every single one because this video will be over a half an hour if I do that. So yeah, I did enjoy this one, but I thought it was so flawed. It just like, I loved so much of it, but it just as a whole could have been so much better. Next up is Slugs. This is from Juan Piquer Simon, who did Pieces. And I'm not the biggest fan of Pieces. I know everybody loves Pieces, but that's another one that I thought could have been way better than it was. It had some really good like psychological horror elements, and then it just kind of dipped down into kind of like B horror movie aspects, but it did have some good parts. Slugs, though, I thought to be highly entertaining, but the third act was kind of a letdown. All this build-up and culmination just kind of felt a little bit flat and anticlimactic in a way, although they had that explosion scene. But the slugs in here were awesome and creepy and gross, some great gore effects. And this one had some really good special features in here too, talking about the effects, and that's one of the things I really love. If you're a fan of film, Arrow Video is one of the best companies out there releasing Blu-rays today. Again, the special features, the transfers, just again the whole packaging, newly commissioned artwork, reversible artwork, the clear case, disc artwork, the booklet, just everything is phenomenal about the releases. And I thought this was really entertaining if you're into like killer bug movies, or you know, killer kind of animal attack kind of stuff. It kind of falls into that region. But Slugs had some great gore effects, some really creepy moments in here too. Third act was a bit of a letdown, but overall a fun time. Next up is Cinema Paradiso. I haven't seen this one in a while, but I remember loving it. I remember thinking this is one that every film fan needs to watch. And it was winner of Best Foreign Language Film Oscar. And yeah, it's basically his homage to cinema, telling the story of this director who returns home for a funeral, who was of his friend growing up, who was a projectionist at the local cinema when he was a kid. But I'm looking forward to revisiting this one. This one has the theatrical version, which I think is the version that I saw, and then the 174-minute director's cut. The theatrical was 124 minutes, so there's a big difference. 50 minutes, almost an hour extra of footage right there. So I do want to check out the director's cut to see the difference there. Obviously, there's going to be a lot of extra footage and a whole bunch of great special features in here too. So really looking forward to checking out the director's cut and revisiting the theatrical cut as well. I'm going to make like a whole day of this one, I think. Next up is Property is No Longer a Theft, and again, this is one. This is the same one, the same director who did Investigation of a Citizen Above Suspicion, which was phenomenal. Elio Petri. So yeah, I'm looking forward to checking this one out, and has has some people who worked with Dario Argento too in Suspiria, and a whole bunch of Dario Nicolodi's in here too, from Deep Red. So this one I'm definitely looking forward to checking out as well. Next up is Story of Sin. This director, Valerian Barask, I'm probably butchering that, who is done some really crazy, explicit, insane, kind of movies. He did The Strange Case of Dr. Jekyll and Miss Osborne, but he did The Beast, which was, just check out the trailer for that movie. But this is the first film that he did. Was this his only film? Yeah, this is the only film that he did in his native Poland, Story of Sin. So looking forward to this one, and this one's going to be another sexually explicit kind of movie. Next up is Dead or Alive Trilogy from Takashi Miike. Beautiful slipcover. I only remember seeing like clips of the first Dead or Alive movie and it being like just crazy, over the top, ridiculous. Like there's a detective, and each one they deal with like Yakuza and gangsters and stuff like that. And it's just action, explosions, body parts, being torn apart, and just all out, over the top, crazy action sequences. Takashi Miike has made so many movies. In fact, there's another Takashi Miike release coming up, and it's great to see Arrow Video releasing a lot of his stuff. But he's done like, I want to say like over 100 movies. So yeah, he's consistently putting out at least a movie a year, more than that at times. Jingo, Prepare a Coffin. I saw the other, I think the first Django movie forever ago. This one has Terrence Hill in it from They Call Me Trinity. He was in a bunch of other stuff too, and it's from Ferdinando Baldi. So I'm looking forward to checking this one out. I like the Western themes, like the spaghetti westerns, and I like the concept for this one too, where he's getting together a loyal gang who will help take down this big boss who's corrupt and trying to essentially kill people for I think their money, and their land. But yeah, looking forward to checking that one out. The Sasson, which this is part of the Arrow Academy. There's a few different releases in this pile from the Arrow Academy, which used to be only part in the UK, and Arrow in general, Arrow Video used to be only in the UK, and then they came over to the US a couple of years ago, which I'm so thankful for. And the Criterion Collection is actually used to be only US, went over to the UK. So I'd like to see these companies, two of the best companies in the world, releasing Blu-rays out there, so that now they can finally be viewed in other regions. And yeah, Arrow Academy, even though Arrow Video US was over here, they didn't start releasing these ones until recently. And I always say this, I think Suture should have been the first Arrow Academy release, because that's such a phenomenal film, one of the better modern black and white films, along with La Haine. Those are two of my favorites. But the Sasson right here, looking forward to checking this one out too. This is another one where Elio Petri, again from Investigation of a Citizen Above Suspicion, is in here, and one of the more underrated Italian directors. And looking forward to checking this one out. And this was actually on the back here. It says it's released within months of Fellini's La Dolce Vita and Antononi's La Notte. So yeah, this is another one that was kind of, I guess, lumped in with those great Italian films right there. And I guess he was kind of considered more underrated because of those ones. But looking forward to checking this one out. Next up is Three Brothers. I really like the concept of this one. I love the artwork too. The artwork reminds me of the Criterion release for El Norte. Kind of that, you know, soft color palette right there. But this one is about three brothers from essentially three different jobs, kind of three different class backgrounds, going back to their hometown and for, I believe, a funeral. I think that's what it was. And just basically how they deal with everything, and you know, obviously their positions in life kind of play into their aspects right there. But I'm loving the concept for this one, and this is directed by Francesco Rossi. And next up is Black Society Trilogy. This is another of Takashi Miike films right there. Really nice slipcover. I noticed that the Takashi Miike ones are the only ones in this lot that have the slip covers. But I dig it. I like to see Arrow Video doing those slip covers. And again, the newly commissioned artwork. And again, tons of special features. And this has Shinsuku Triad Society, Rainy Dog, and Ley Lines. Again, the only ones that I've seen out of, I mean, I've seen a couple more, but the only ones that I've seen recently, since I've picked up in the past 2 weeks, that I've got all these ones were Slugs and then Tiki, Immortal Monster. The rest of the ones I have either not seen or I haven't seen in a long time, like Cinema Paradiso, Donnie Darko, and then another one down here, House. I've seen those ones, but it's been a while. So let me know which one of these ones, the ones that I haven't seen or the ones that I haven't seen in a while, that I should watch first. Donnie Darko for me was a life-changing movie. I've seen this movie a few times, and I love this addition to it. I love the fact right there that this little J card actually connects to the outer slipcase right there, the slip box. How the text goes right there. I just think that's really cool. Just a nice added feature. And I showed this before. Basically, essentially did an unboxing in the mail day video for it. But such a phenomenal film. You know, dealing with like loneliness and longing and just it's just such a crazy. This is a cinematic experience, is what I would classify this as. This is something that you need to watch several times over to really appreciate it fully. And I can't wait to revisit this one. And again, new 4K restorations, has the theatrical cut and director's cut. And I remember preferring the theatrical cut over this one. I saw the director's cut a while ago, but I'm looking forward to checking both out again and looking at the new transfer for this as well. And I love that. It has like a matte finish and then kind of a reflective on Frank the Bunny right there on the eyes and then the stomach. But phenomenal film. A phenomenal cast too. This cast was just incredible. Next up is this. Oh, the Arrow Videos box sets are so beautiful. I can't wait to check this one out. I love the feel to this one, kind of like a smooth matte finish. And this is Kiju Yoshida's Love and Anarchism with Eros and Massacre, which is his masterpiece, and then Heroic Purgatory and Coup d'etat. And again, there's the theatrical cut and director's cut of Eros and Massacre. And it has the booklets. And that's the thing with these box sets. You know, they have the booklets, the really thick booklet. The Donnie Darko one is a very thick one as well. And again, just so many special features in here. Their box sets are top of the line, second to none. Next up is Ludwig, Luciano Visconti's Ludwig, which this one right here is, I think they have it separated into yeah, different parts, I believe, of this one. Helmut Berger is the title role as Ludwig right here. It's yeah, about King Ludwig of Bavaria. So looking forward to checking that one out too. And yeah, I believe this one was separated into parts. I think it was. But yeah, again, beautiful thick booklet, and there's the Blu-rays right there. And again, just so many amazing films. It's one of the things that I like about companies like Criterion Collection, Arrow Video. You can get exposed to new cinema that you haven't checked out and just fall in love with. That's happened to me so many times with both Criterion Collection and Arrow Video. To me, those two companies are the best in the world with releasing films today, physical media, Blu-rays. This is the House True Story set. Over in the UK, they got all 4 films. Now, I haven't heard the, you know, what I have heard rather, about House 3 and 4 is they're not very good. But again, that's subjective. I haven't seen those ones. And I've only seen House, the first one. So I'm looking forward to checking out the second one. I'm looking forward to revisiting the first one. I remember really liking the cast in there. You've got William Catt, George Wentz, and then was it Richard Mull, I believe the guy's name is? He was Bull in Night Court, which I used to love that show back in the day. And Cheers is one of my all-time favorite shows with George Wentz. And then William Catt was the Greatest American Hero, I believe. So some great television stars in here, but really looking forward to checking out this, revisiting it again, and checking out House 2. I do kind of wish we had the full box set, because I believe those ones actually play over here, Region A. So I guess there must have been some kind of licensing issues, some issue with it, but very nice set. And so those are all the Arrow Video Blu-rays from the past 2 weeks, 14 titles, some awesome box sets. I can't wait to delve into them. So much content to check out. Again, so many special features on these sets. The thick booklets. I mean, look at this. This is like a hardcover book right here for the House set, which I love actually checking out the books and the booklets and all that kind of stuff. If you're a fan of the films, there's just so much information. They often show, behind the scenes photos, talk about all kinds of stuff. They have movie critics in there, historians, film historians. So there's just so much content to absorb and to check out. And it's just phenomenal what Arrow Video is doing. I'm so glad they're releasing here in the US. Again, one of the best companies in the world releasing physical media Blu-rays. So of course, as soon as I stop the video and start putting stuff away, the doorbell rings and the mailman brings me a package, which includes 3 more Arrow Video titles. So I'm just going to add this to the video. First up is Frank Henenlotter's Brain Damage. I remember really enjoying this film. I haven't seen it in ages. I remember when I first watched it when I was younger, it kind of freaked me the heck out. And then I rewatched it a few years ago, and I just thought it was kind of funny, more kind of horror comedy-esque, and definitely a analogy for drug addiction as well. And yeah, it's funny because I thought the name was different. I thought it was Elmer was like the parasitic creature, but on the back it says Elmer. I still remember it being different, but it's been a while. I need to revisit it. But yeah, it's like this parasitic creature that looks like a phallic-shaped object, but it looks like a little brain with like a tail essentially. And he's part of this guy Brian. He's essentially it's kind of a symbiotic parasitic relationship where he releases like this like liquid into his brain, this blue liquid, and makes him get high, and in turn Elmer ends up killing other people. So it's definitely one that I remember enjoying a lot, and I can't wait to revisit it. Definitely a nice Frank Henenlotter addition to Arrow Video. There he is right there, Brian Elmer. And there's the Blu-ray disc and then the DVD disc. And I like that it has unique disc artwork. And then again, the booklets in here are just awesome. So many behind the scenes photos and information. There's one of the old school artworks. There's a few different releases. I remember there was like I think the Synapse release, which had like it was like remastered. It had like a silver border on the DVD. Nice slipcover for it. And then next up is I guess a kind of like a gangster movie. And this is written and directed by Pasquale Squitieri, who did I Am the Law and Gang War in Naples. And this has it stars Joe D'Alessandro, who is in Flesh for Frankenstein and Blood for Dracula. And he's also in one of these films too. He was in Merry-Go-Round, which is the next set I'll show in a second as a sneak peek. But I haven't seen this one. I'm looking forward to it. I love the artwork right there. And this actually, the reverse artwork just screams like cheesy 70s right there. They're comparing even to Scarface in the back, but like I really like a retro Flower Power Child Scarface version is what it looks like. There's the Blu-ray disc and the DVD disc, which again I like that it has the unique artwork for each, and then the booklet, again, amazing artwork. The newly commissioned artwork is just awesome. So definitely looking forward to checking this one out. It sounds interesting. He was basically kicked out of a gang and beaten and abandoned after he was skimming off the top, and then he kind of decided to create his own gang and get revenge. And then the next box over here, Jacques Rivette collection, which has 3 films, Duel No Rote, and then Merry-Go-Round. He wanted to make a 4-film cycle where there was just 4 different genre films that all kind of combined together essentially. It says that only 2 were really made, so I don't know how the third one fits in here. But yeah, it sounds pretty interesting. One is kind of like a sci-fi film. I think that's what they're describing it as. Trying to re-rate, no, fantasy. It's fantasy and film noir kind of cross-pollinating is what it's saying. And then, yeah, again, it just sounds like a really trippy kind of idea for this. And then the next one is a pirate tale. Norot is a pirate tale. And then the Duel was the fantasy film noir one. And then the third film began production, and then he had a, sounds like a nervous breakdown, and then started anew with Merry-Go-Round, which has Joe D'Alessandro, who is also in The Climber. So again, a beautiful box set right here. Again, Arrow Video just does such an amazing job. It's one of the best ever for box sets. And I'll go ahead and show you. There's the booklets. Again, a nice thick booklet with tons of information, behind the scenes shots, behind the scenes information. Just so informative if you're a fan. There's so much that you can learn and take in. Moving backstage, again, they have stuff from like film historians and film critics in here. They go over the cast and the films, and just incredible. Here we go, is Merry-Go-Round, not to be sold separately, and the discs. And I like the interior artwork. That's pretty awesome. So I dig that. I'm looking forward to checking out this box set. Not familiar with his work, and looking forward to it. Again, that's one of the things that I appreciate. Just have the titles on the discs and then the interior artwork, which that looks awesome too. I've been introduced to so many films that I've loved because of these companies, so I give everything a fair chance. And again, I've seen so many amazing foreign films in particular that I wouldn't have come across otherwise if it weren't for companies like Arrow Video. And then Duel, which again is just the title on there, and then there's the interior artwork, which looks awesome as well. So there you go. There's actually 17 titles in this video. Of course, as soon as I finish the video, start putting stuff away, the doorbell rings with more titles for Arrow Video. But I'm happy. I'm definitely looking forward to checking these films out. And so many great additions, so many great films released. I'm excited to see what Arrow Video does in the future. Let me know what else you'd like to see Arrow Video release as well coming up. So there you go. That is the complete Arrow Video haul for the past 2 weeks. All the different Arrow Video titles I've gotten. And they just keep coming in. And I'm thankful though. I mean, they're putting out some great content, great releases. I'm just souped that Arrow Video is releasing here in the US. Thank you so much. So there you go. Let me know what you think of these movies. If you've seen any of them, let me know which is your favorite of this haul from the past 2 weeks, and which movie I should check out first for the ones that I haven't seen or haven't seen in a while. Leave me a comment or video response down below. Hope everyone's doing well. Take care.